Not so long ago, we visited Palumbo Superyachts in Ancona to check out what they had in build. And today we've been invited back to take a closer look at the Extra 86, which at the time was under construction. But now, as you can see, she's in the water and she's called Hayes. The Extra line was launched in 2018 to offer the market something different. A series of compact but comfortable super yachts with jaunty exterior styling by Francesco Guida, but also close contact with the sea and a distinctive personality. The Extra 86 falls between the 76 and the 93 in the fiberglass lineup. But like its cousins, the standout feature is that it packs an awful lot of style and space into relatively modest dimensions. The aft deck, for example, covers 50 square meters, and it's organized into 3 separate zones. In the stern, we have the swim platform, which can be lowered below the level of the water for easy access to the sea. Then we have this big sun pad and seating area, and forward we have a dining area for a full complement of 8 guests. Plenty of room for people to move around without treading on each other's toes. And then forward, we have another sun pad and the bench nook in the bow. But one of my favorite features is on the inside, and this galley that overlooks the dining table and the open aft deck. We all know that cruising with friends and family revolves around meal times. And this means that whoever's in the galley preparing meals or drinks is in constant contact with the rest of the company. Below deck we have 4 guest cabins, starting with the owner's suite amidships, which takes full advantage of the maximum beam of 6.8 meters, which is perhaps a full meter wider than comparable yachts. Then we have 2 twin singles and a VIP suite, which is also full beam but set further forward. On the Flydeck, which covers around 25 square meters, we have the second helm station here in the middle, which can be covered with an awning stretch between carbon fiber poles, a cozy dinette, a grill and sink. But if we look beyond the low windscreen here, we have another peculiarity of the 86, solar panels. The owner of Hayes wanted a larger Williams 395 tender, which is stowed on the swim platform here. But in the standard version, underneath the sun pad, there's room for a 3.25 meter tender. A tender garage on a 26 meter boat is something of a novelty, especially when you consider that forward of the engine room, there are 4 ensuite guest cabins. And speaking of engines, the 86 comes in 2 versions. There's a fast planing version with 3 Volvo IPS 1350 drives for a top speed of 31 knots. And there's a semi-displacement version, like Hayes, with 2 units of the same drives for slightly less redline performance, but arguably more cruising comfort. So let's see how she handles. The twin IPS 1350 is the most powerful in the IPS range, produce 735 kilowatts each at 2400 RPM for a top speed of 21 knots and a cruising speed of 16 knots. At the economical speed of 12 knots, the 86 has a more than respectable range of 1200 nautical miles. Now today the fuel tanks are pretty full, so I don't think we'll make 21 knots, but let's see how fast you can go. The The advantage of the Volvo Penta IPS system is its silence and fuel efficiency, combined with the famous joystick controls and the user-friendly electronic functions that make maneuvering the yacht so much easier and more intuitive. The forward-facing pods with twin counter-rotating propellers means the hull feels much grippier in the water, and the fact there's no cavitation means much less structure-borne noise. The hull features quite pronounced spray rails, so she's a pretty dry boat, an important consideration when the foredeck is also used for sunbathing. Haze is also charter class compliant, and she has Humphrey stabilizer fins for an even smoother ride underway and zero-speed stabilization. The Extra 86 is a pocket super yacht with the aspirations of a much larger vessel. The main difficulty for prospective owners is choosing the model that best suits their needs, because after the 93 there's the 120 and the 130, which are built of aluminium. The choice is about to get a whole lot harder, because in the pipeline there's a new fiberglass model which will fall between the 93 and the 120.